Fox 2 Sportsworks starts now.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to The Works. Coming up tonight, everything you need to get up to date in the world of sports. Stoney and Wojo in the house. What's up, boys?
Why do you warn me that's coming when you do that? Hey, good evening, everybody. I never know when it's coming.
You should be used to it by now.
Yeah. It scares me.
It's the same every week. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Countdown is on to Monday night. Lions are going to take on the Bucs. I don't know if you knew that. There's a football game tomorrow night. Yeah, it's a big game. Pistons set to open their season this week, and the Red Wings remain red hot. See what I did right there?
Never lose.
Facing Edmonton today, looking to make it 5 straight wins to LCA. We go second period, 1-zip Wings. Jacob Bernard-Docker shoots. Saved by Stuart Skinner. But there's Emmett Finney getting the rebound, scoring. First of his career. Detroit up 2-zip later in the period. Oilers got a goal. They were within 1. Dylan Larkin brings the puck in, circles back, fires it, gets it past Skinner. Second of the game for him. 5th of the season. 3-1 Detroit. Edmonton didn't go away. 12.5 left in the game. Brett Kulak finds Leon Draisaitl. They were within 1 again. Wings trying to close it out, and they were able to do just that. Empty netter, Finney's second of the night. They end up getting the victory. Hammer has more from downtown.
In hindsight, Todd McLellan says that maybe getting blown out in their season opener was actually good for this team, because since that time, his Wings have been on fire, winning 5 straight, including a solid performance on Sunday against the Oilers.
You know, maybe the 2x4 across the forehead against Montreal was exactly what we needed now in retrospect. We didn't want it that time. None of us were happy, but maybe it just put us back to where we needed to be.
You know, Edmonton's a good team. You know, they got 2 top players who can make you pay on every night. So, you know, I thought we did a good job managing them.
Dylan talked a little bit about the fearlessness of the youth, with yourself included in that, helping his game. How does he help your game?
Oh, he helps it a lot. I mean, he's a great leader. You know, he's helping me on and off the ice this whole year. So, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, put myself in good spots for him.
Preseason is preseason, and it's valuable for young players and for vets to get their legs going. But as the regular season, especially with our start, the strength of the schedule, he's gotten stronger, and so have all the young guys, and you know, they seem to be fearless, and that you know, that it's you know, something I look at, and why can't I be fearless too? You know, they brought a great you know, motivating, brought a great energy to our locker room.
And according to McLellan, the next big test for his team comes on Wednesday and Thursday night, when they play back-to-backs for the first time this season in Buffalo before heading to Long Island. At Little Caesars Arena, Jennifer Hammond, Fox 2 Sports.
All right, Hammer, thank you very much. Official introductions. 97 on the ticket. Wojo, Stoney. You can also read Woj in the Detroit News. Where do we start? Best hockey players named Emmett for 500?
Oh, yeah. Now, let me check on this, because he's one of the new ones, right? The 20-year-old?
Yes.
His name is Emmett Finney. It's not Emmett Finn, and they call him Finney, like the hockey.
It might be Finner.
No. Finner. It might be Finner. But I did not realize that's all they had to do was hit him on the head with the 2x4, the Red Wings, and they turned him right around.
If they'd have known that for the last how many years,
right.
Just break out the 2x4s. All right, so Stoney, how about wins over last year's champ, last year's runner-up in Tampa, and this week?
Yeah, and then Toronto, they won twice. I mean, they're playing really good hockey. But the thing about it is they're fun to watch. They, especially the young players, they're fearless. Now, they're not as physical as they probably need to be if they get to the playoffs. But right now, they're playing like with carefree, and it's good. And to see the youth, and they're not afraid to make mistakes, and having Finney out there in key situations just shows. I mean, he was a 7th-round draft choice, and it's not like the old days where they would get the Russian guys because nobody would pick them. This is a remarkable story.
The fruits of Yzerman's drafting starting to show finally, and it really is. And the other thing that's interesting is I saw they've really improved their PK. That's penalty kill, Stoney. And they've always had a good power play, but last year they were destroyed.
Yes.
By their PK.
Wasn't good.
And you know what?
You just like saying PK.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And you know what really helps a PK? A goalie!
Yes.
A goalie!
Yes.
I think they've won.
And they got the reclamation project that is John Gibson, who everybody thought was done after one game, right?
Yes.
He was very good today. He wasn't tested that much.
And Talbot as well, yes. And there is something about the energy of youth.
Yes.
And it's it's not like Yzerman where they were wrong to get, sort of some seasoned veterans when they signed them, but they had to mix in more youth. And there'll be mistakes along the way, but they look really energetic.
And easy to feel good for Dylan Larkin, who's off to a terrific start and heard all the criticism last year when he was not at his best physically or in terms of production last year towards the end of the season.
Right, and he took some heat for speaking out about the deadline, and obviously, maybe it didn't sit well with Yzerman or not, but whatever, he's still here and he's leading and he's playing well, both ends of the ice as well. And him going against McDavid today, he was the better player today.
Yes, he's got 5 goals, 11 points in 6 games. Is it too early to start talking about the President's Trophy? The best record in the league.
Might be just a touch early.
Okay, let me know when I can
Let's
start
talk about I think we got to get to the other P first, which is playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, playoffs. Okay.
Yeah.
But they
mind your P's and Q's.
Yeah.
And I do think you're seeing a full season of McLellan because he can be firm without beating them to death. Like I feel like
just beats him with a 2x4.
Well, that's all it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was a hammer apparently, but no, they've looked very good.
All right, let's get to the Lions. Marquee matchup tomorrow night when they'll take on the Bucs. 4th meeting in 3 years between these two. Both are expected to be in the mix when the postseason rolls around, so this could be a big game when it comes to seeding. That was one of the topics we hit on with the head coach in this week's scouting report.
There's no question that's what this is going to come down to. So it's important to get a win. It's important to get back to a win from what we came to, but it's going to have implications down the road.
Also, you want some momentum going into the bye, and no place you'd rather be on a Monday night, I assume, than downtown.
No,
Detroit.
Thank goodness. It's good to be home, man. You go out on the road, you go to Kansas City, you're sitting in a hotel all day long. At least we get to be back home, all right, with our guys, our crowd, and get a win.
And I got to imagine it's going to be lit tomorrow night inside of Ford Field. But look, this is where your eye goes in this game. The Lions missing their top 3 safeties, missing 2 of their top 3 corners. We don't know what Tampa Bay's receiving core is going to look like, but indications are it is looking better for Evans and looking better for Ibuka.
I know that's unfortunate. No, I'm not going to say it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate for the Lions, but I thought that the Bucs are going to be nice and keep all their receivers injured. But, you balance it with aggression at on the defensive line.
Got no choice. You
got Lee McNeil back, DJ Reader. Aiden Hutchinson, he's been on the just of a huge breakout game, leading the league in strip sacks and forced fumbles and pressure.
Got streaks going left and right.
And everything else. Exactly. It's going to be so fascinating to see if he can catch or who can catch and throw to the turf Baker Mayfield.
And they're going to have to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's like, you know what? Dan Campbell talks about it all the time, complementary football, and he talks about offense, defense, and special teams. We'll get to the offense in a second. But even within the defense, if you know you're light in the back end, they're going to have to make something happen up front.
Yes, and those guys, whatever the reason is, they are really fired up. They're angry. So I think they're going to go after Mayfield a little bit and just play with a little more aggression. That's going to decide this football game.
Well, that's what I said. We did this the Sunday morning Lions show.
You were here this morning.
You were there, right?
Yeah, I was here.
You were there.
You were there.
It was
How did you
right
get
here.
up?
Yeah, I have no idea. But that was my main point in that is get back to what they are and get mad. And it's not just about the officiating thing, whatever. It's the Brian Branch thing. It's everything. And they should get mad. And they are so much better when they're engaged with, Campbell instilling the ferocity in them and the team togetherness and everything else. I really think, even though they're shorthanded, I agree with Stoney, the defense is going to get after Mayfield.
And on the other side of it, Dan Campbell is good about telling his guys, okay, we need X to lead in this game. You know what? This might be a game where they need the offense to lead.
Yeah.
And they may need them to score a lot of points and not have empty possessions. And we've seen this team offensively where they will go 4 straight possessions scoring touchdowns. And this might be one of those games where they have to do that.
Well, he said last week they have to score 30 points. They didn't. They only scored, 17 last week? Mm-hmm. They need to score over 30 with their
and I like the matchup, secondary. Too. Right. And it'll be built up big, Tampa Bay with Todd Bowles, the coach, and he loves the blitz. What do they call it? A blitz fest. Yeah. That's what John Morton is expecting. Going up against the quarterback who's the best in the league, Jared Goff, against the blitz. He has great check down guys, not necessarily total, but in Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think they can tear apart that blitz, I think, a little bit, as long as they keep Goff upright. And the offensive line might be pretty healthy with Taylor Decker coming back.
And this has become a nice little story between these two teams.
Yeah.
If you want to call it a rivalry, go ahead. This is the 4th time they've met in 3 years, including a playoff game.
Right.
Lions lost to them last year in one of the strangest games. They were 1 for 7 in the red zone and lost by 4 points.
Right.
It was a game, they'd never been in the red zone 7 times with Ben Johnson. They were in that game, but they didn't make enough out of it.
And in the playoff game, it was a close game that the Lions fortunately won that playoff game. So they played, you're right, a lot of good games with this team.
Yeah. And people don't, like Mayfield and Goff are pretty good friends, I think, and they have the same story to tell, number 1 overall.
People doubting them, thinking they were done.
Yeah, I really like this matchup.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I can't see them hanging out together, though, and just
Why not? Mayfield's crushing beers against his forehead and
Goff picking them up. Yeah.
Hey, let me get to the Pistons, guys, before we go to break. They will open the season on Wednesday night. I think we're following this storyline with these guys just to see if they can take the next step. I think we all felt something we hadn't felt in a long time last year in that playoff series against the Knicks, that intensity, and quite frankly, that it might have been one that they let get away. And maybe if Isaiah Stewart is healthy, they don't let that get away. But it was fun.
It was a lot of fun, and obviously the Ivy not being back all the way yet is definitely a letdown. But not that big of it. It just means more and more is being put on Cade Cunningham's plate. What did he average last year? 26.1 points per game. That's probably even going to go up even more with Ivy out for a while. He will lead the way. And they are, just like I promised you with the Red Wings, the Pistons are a playoff team.
Yeah, and you know what? You look at Asar Thompson. How far can he come this year? This is a guy that we saw last year when he was in there could really be a difference maker. And I think Duran's another guy that can take a huge step this year.
Around the league, if you ask people how they evaluate the Pistons, they'll say obviously Cade. And most people think Asar is their second best player. And he's going through a whole offseason healthy, which he never had before, and hopefully he'll be almost as good as his brother.
His brother is terrific.
Yeah.
And if Asar can just improve the offense a little bit, he is a defensive weapon out there and can fly up and down the court.
Let's see how the offseason of practice shooting worked for Asar and Ron Holland.
Both.
If Ron Holland can develop that outside shot or a three-point shot or a shot, they have a shot to be really good.
I mean, you know what the difference is? It just feels good to be talking about this in a positive way, because for so long that franchise was just stuck in the mud.
And I know it's cliche. They say it's easier to go from bad to good than it is to go from good to great. They probably won't be great this year, but they can still improve and get a better seeding than they had last year.
And I like the leadership from the top, just like we talked with the Red Wings and McLellan. J.B. Bickerstaff seems to be the perfect leader for this team, which is still pretty much relatively young. They kept some of the veterans like Tobias Harris, but I like what they have put together.
And Trajan Langdon's got the powder dry for a move at some point.
Yes.
And we will see when that comes, if that's perhaps during this season, after the season, whatever. But you get the sense that for this franchise to ultimately take that next huge step, probably got to add one more piece.
Yes,
for sure.
Got to add one more piece, and we will see what happens there. But you know what? I don't think anybody's angry at them for being patient, because being impatient can tie you up for a long time.
It's amazing what happens when fans develop trust in an organization. People didn't scream their heads off. Why didn't they go get Kevin Durant or something like that?
Please.
Yeah, please. They
We'll
did.
take a break, come right back. College football on the other side. We got Michigan State coming up this week.
That's a big game, by the way.
It is a big game. Might be a needed game for Jonathan Smith. We'll talk about it coming up. Boys, college football, another week is behind us. Michigan State continues to struggle. Michigan's latest effort has them back in the AP Top 25. We'll find out what these guys are thinking about that and about this matchup coming up this week. But first, the wrap on yesterday's action.
Underwood pumps, sets up underneath. Here's Marsh in space. Marsh, touchdown, Michigan. Andrew Marsh. And intercepted. Cole Sullivan. Can Michigan pay it off? Marshall, touchdown, Michigan. Here's the play, the roll, Underwood, wide open. Touchdown, Zach Marshall.
What a win. It's fun. That was a fun win. Fun win to be a part of. You know, our players played with the hair on fire, played with detail, played with great fundamentals, and just really proud of our kids, man. Really, really proud of our kids and how they played.
I just pride myself in running hard. That's how I practice. That's how I'm going to play. I'm going to push piles. I'm going to hit people. I'm just going to play hard.
Childs, quick drop, pass complete, first down and more. How about a touchdown by Nick Marsh? Hemby's been basically non-existent as far as a rush gainer. Down the middle, Mendoza's right on the mark for a touchdown. 271 yards through the air. That's a season high for Fernando, and he wants more. What a throw to Surratt. 27 yards for the latest touchdown.
That's a good football team. Margin for error against good football team is pretty small. You look at the tackling. We got to tackle better. A couple opportunities to have better plays there, and we just did not have it. Listen to that locker room opportunity in front of us. Yeah, we've taken some body blows the last few weeks out and all of that. 100% confident in this group being galvanized, ready to go next week.
Okay, let's start right there. They're not good. And there's nothing about Jonathan Smith right now that gives you the feeling that this program's going to turn around.
No, there really isn't. And the one thing you could count on with previous coaches like D'Antonio and Tucker was that they knew the Michigan State rivalry. Even in their worst years, they would have a puncher's shot in that game. And they do have a puncher's shot in that game. It's in East Lansing. It's under the lights. But I would suggest is Jonathan Smith definitely in trouble job-wise. I don't think they're going to fire him during the season. But dare I say, who almost needs this game more than Jonathan Smith is Sharon Moore. Not that his job is in jeopardy, because it's not. But to lose that game and to go 4-3 after losing 5 games last year, a lot of that great capital he developed by beating Ohio State twice would start to wither away.
And you don't want to let your rival gain life at your expense.
Correct, even though his rival's coach probably won't be here. But if they do lose, there's going to start to be, look, I don't think Ward Manuel or the big money boosters are going to fire Sharon Moore, but if they do lose that game and lose to Ohio State and have that 4-loss season, people are going to start talking where next year will be a make-or-break year for Sharon Moore.
Yeah, but we're talking about a hypothetical that I'm not seeing. People
not seeing Michigan lose that game.
Well, no, not. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But people were grumbling even before the Washington game, like if he doesn't win this one.
They needed that Washington game because the USC game was not good.
Okay, but that does happen when you're playing really good teams in the Big Ten. They handled Washington very well. 5-2 is still not what they had hoped.
5-2 was the size of their quarterback.
Yeah.
Washington's quarterback.
Well, he still had unbelievable numbers, but maybe they had some issues on defense and players not liking some of the Wink Martindale thing. Yeah. And much better. And I think players more engaged, and maybe they had their little reflective point.
USC gave the Todd McLellan 2x4.
Maybe they did.
And you know what? No Justice Haynes, but Jordan Marshall continued to give them the ability to grind it out on the ground. That's a Michigan game, 25 carries for 133 yards.
Right. But I am most impressed by how there was some grumbling on the defense about how Wink Martindale was calling the plays, and plays are coming in late against USC. And they 3 interceptions, they recovered nicely.
Right. But if Childs plays like he played yesterday, I mean, it might be a shootout.
It could be. I mean, Childs showed you 20 straight completions at one point.
Yeah,
they led 10-7.
He was great yesterday
in the second quarter. I just don't. Who does?
I mean, and in fairness to Michigan State, they were not going to beat Indiana. That's just not going to happen right now. But if you're Michigan State, I don't care if you're a player or you're Jonathan Smith at this point. You got to look at this as
this is their Super Bowl.
Everybody is just caving in on us right now. This is our chance to make something of this season.
They should be inspired, no doubt.
This is desperation time.
No doubt. The counter to that is, I just don't see defensive players that can make plays for them. Not that they're terrible, they just don't have pop-out guys make the big hit. Interception.
Now, this is Underwood's first game in this rivalry. It's going to be interesting. He played very well yesterday. Actually got a little touch on the ball occasionally, so
a little bit, yeah.
Hopefully he'll play better.
I'd say 78% of his passes completed. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, finally, because he was at like 59% coming into the game, and now it's up a bit. And that was his smoothest game of the year by far.
Rivalry game. We'll see what happens.
Is it linear? Is progression linear? Not really.
It is not.
Yeah,
it is not. It certainly does. All right, check out Woj and the Detroit News. Check out both these guys on 97.1 The Ticket. Check us out when we come back with the rest of the day in sports. You're done.
I came all the way here for that.
That's it. Twice today.
Oh.
Say goodbye. All right, NASCAR Yellowwood 500 to Talladega. Final lap of overtime. Kyle Larson ran out of gas. Chase Briscoe said thank you, pulled ahead, took the lead, went on to get the win, clinches a spot in the championship Final Four. NFL Week 7 wrap. Let's get to it. Rams, Jags, London. Matthew Stafford had a day. Only 182 yards, but he made them count. 5 touchdowns, 3 of them to Devontae Adams. This one caught by Terrence Ferguson. LA now 5-2, 35-7 they win. Eagles in Minnesota playing the Vikings. Philly 21-19 in the fourth. Jalen Hurts to A.J. Brown for his 3rd touchdown of the game. The Eagles went on to win, helping the Lions a little bit, beat the Vikings 28-22. They get a bounce-back victory after losing 2 in a row. Giants, Broncos, crazy fourth quarter. 19-0 New York going in. Denver went off. Under 2 to go. Broncos down by 3. Bo Nix keeps it himself, 18 yards. Denver had the lead. Giants get a touchdown themselves, but they missed the extra point with 37 seconds left. So a field goal was going to win it for the Broncos. 18 seconds to go. Nix to Cortland Sutton, 22 yards, had to kill the clock. Race was on. They did spike it with 2 seconds to go. Will Lutz ultimately came out for a 39-yard field goal. This would be for the win. It's going to go to, how about Denver? Come from behind. They win it 33-32. Game 6 ALCS, Mariners needed 1 win to go to their first World Series in franchise history. In the fourth, it was 2-0 Blue Jays, and they're getting more. Runner on third, Addison Barger hits it deep to right and gone, 4-zip. 5th inning, man, this guy, what a postseason for Vlad Guerrero Jr. Takes the curveball deep to left. It is out. 6th postseason home run for him. And after a 6-2 Toronto victory, we have a Game 7 tomorrow night right here on Fox 2. I'm Dan Miller. Thank you for watching. Be sure to join us on Fox 2 News Morning at 4 a.m. Weather and traffic on the 2s. Critically is next.